Okay, we are live. This was supposed to be our build up to the second T20I at this time, where as usual we build up to the game that was going to be happening, and we were very excited for it. And then comes the news that the game has been delayed. I thought maybe because it's raining.
Exactly. The
Very
first
heavily.
time I got to know, I thought that is it raining? Then we were told that players don't have bats, their kit bags, nothing. Everything is missing.
Bats are there or kit bat. No, but sometimes.
Something very important is definitely missing.
Yeah, for the game to have been delayed.
Exactly.
No, because usually what happens sometime that if you had a luggage. So for example, I once had a situation where I was coming back from South Africa to India, and one of our suitcases didn't arrive. So we had like 4 between me and my camera person. 3 had come, 1 didn't. Then that was a suitcase with that a lot of technical like wires and all that. Didn't come. Still, it's a suitcase that's not come.
And must have been the most expensive one.
Must be. Do you know, we got it almost after 2 months. It arrived. It arrived in India after 2 months. May have traveled the globe, who knows where all it went, that poor suitcase.
Stupid.
But reached us after 2 months. So it has happened. And on the same tour, when I had reached South Africa, that time our suitcase had arrived, but it was not there on the thing. So I thought it hadn't arrived. It was not on the chain. That was my personal suitcase. So that night I didn't even have a change of clothes, and you take a shower and no change of clothes.
So all your PTCs and reporting.
So no, so that day, firstly at night,
Ranveer Singh.
in night I just wrapped around in the room. I took a shower and just walked around in the towel, whatever. And next day, same clothes which I had travelled in, I wore them again to do work. And then that day later, I got a call that your suitcase has come. It wasn't misplaced. Somebody had taken it.
Oh.
And his and mine were identical.
Rival organization?
No, but identical. And he had left his back and he had collected.
Because I know one such incident. I don't know who the 2 gentlemen were. So somebody actually, this was basically they were trying to, they were trying to play a prank basically.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you are aware of this or not.
No.
So one of these journalists, what he did was he picked up somebody's wallet or something, okay, and it had everything. Imagine everything, money, credit cards, everything. So that particular journalist who thought that he had lost his wallet. I think it took almost 1 month. The entire tour got over, and that is when
He returned it?
Yes.
For 1 month?
For the entire tour. It must have lasted for a month.
You can't do that. That's not a prank. It's something very serious. Prank is if you take it for a day and return the next day.
And especially you are on a tour.
No. This is not a prank.
It's a foreign country and you don't know people there. So I just thought maybe somebody.
Yeah. No. So today, again, if you're just joining us, what are the funniest reasons cricket matches have been delayed for? That'll make for a good video.
You remember any?
I know of some other games where kits haven't reached and they got delayed. It's happened.
In fact, I remember very faintly. I remember in mid 90s, there was a match, but that was an ODI match at that time, and that was between India and West Indies, and it happened in India, by the way. Luggage didn't arrive.
Yeah.
For the visiting team or for the Indian team, I can't remember. So, not that it has happened for the first time. It has happened in the past too. And the problem is, what could be missing from that luggage or the kit bag?
Bat, pads,
jersey maybe.
Jerseys. Yeah, anything could be missing. Without them, can't be. So now maybe some special flight would have gone.
So basically, the team was traveling from Trinidad to Saint Kitts, where the match has to be played today. So they have not got their luggage, and that is the reason why West Indies cricket board, they've said that it is not their fault. And
It's not. Actually, having travelled if you have travelled in the West Indies, in the Caribbean, as I have, 3 tours I've done in total. And every time, this is a common occurrence there, that your luggage never arrives with you. You arrive in an island and the luggage usually doesn't. It was a common thing with everyone. So, if by chance you have arrived and your luggage has arrived, then you are considered very lucky.
But you can always call up the Prime Minister over there, no?
Yes. Prime Ministers are very accessible. In St. Kitts, where they're going to be playing today. The Prime Minister walked into the press box. We met him. He was sitting with us, chatting.
And you knew he was the Prime Minister?
No, somebody introduced us. Oh, wow. He was sitting, he came in a very, I remember even now, a shirt, one of those Hawaiian shirts.
Okay.
He was wearing one of those Hawaiian shirts and a trouser, flowery. He came in St. Kitts. So in St. Kitts, so the game is happening just near the ground only. It's like the main entrance is here. There is another entrance from that side. If you exit from there, there is an Indian restaurant right there. The only Indian restaurant, at least in those days, in St. Kitts was there. Star of India, it's called. Only Indian restaurant in the entire island. So very expensive.
I'm sure the Indian team
will go there.
Must have been there only.
You must have been there.
By the time
unless more Indian restaurants have opened, I'm talking about 2006.
No, just to kill their time, by the time their luggage arrives, they must have been eating there. So
there is an airline in West Indies, in the Caribbean, LIAT, which actually means L-I-A-T, which actually stands for Leeward Islands Air Transport. Leeward Islands Air Transport. But common people, it's one of the few airlines that does the whole Caribbean circuit. There are 2-3 airlines that do, let's say flights between Trinidad and Jamaica to St. Kitts to St. Lucia. And common people there call it that LIAT doesn't stand for Leeward Island Air Transport, it stands for luggage in another town. LIAT. So that's how it's known for. So it doesn't surprise me that the luggage has been misplaced. But the game will start at 10.
At 10.
Which means we'll be live 9:30 on Sports Today after the toss. And then we'll be there mid-innings. And of course, once the game gets over, we will also be there at
We'll have a full 20-over game, right?
Yeah. Only starting at 10 o'clock. Unless it rains, then we don't know.
It's already a delayed match, but you were not here in the office the past couple of days. A lot has happened.
Like the team.
Do
you think the team that has been selected for Zimbabwe is basically the team that is not going to Asia Cup?
This is the discussion that we did yesterday. In fact, I wanted to get you also on the show, but couldn't get through your number. So we did this yesterday when we did the dugout. So
I would have happily come.
Yeah, we discussed this issue, that is it the end of the road for the likes of Deepak Hooda, Ishan Kishan, Akshar Patel, Kuldeep Yadav, and for somebody like KL Rahul, who hasn't played competitive cricket from or rather since the last week of May, and he had an injury, then he had COVID also. So he gets a direct entry into the playing 11 or the Indian squad for the Asia Cup, which we all are saying will be virtually the team that is going to play the Asia Cup, will be the exact team, possibly one or two names here and there, that will be your T20 squad.
Yeah.
So is it fair?
So see, a few things that I feel about that. By the way, why is it, and we've discussed it before, and that's a valid question. I think that's the question that we've taken on our chat as well, that why is it that KL Rahul was unfit before the IPL started and was fit while the IPL was on, and then is unfit after the IPL? It's a valid question, and I think people should ask that question. Now, should he be an automatic choice? I think he should be, because he is alongside Rohit Sharma, your best opener. But the big problem is
it the best opener or you don't have an opener?
Yes, so I'm saying the big problem
Because you are experimenting with Rishabh Pant, you are experimenting with Surya Kumar Yadav, which means despite the fact you have somebody like Ishan Kishan, which means you do not trust in Ishan Kishan's abilities, you don't have faith in him, and you are saying, KL, you get fit, this place is for you.
No, that's what I'm saying. The reason he walks into the team is because India doesn't have an option for the opener, and India doesn't have an option for the opener is the fault of the Indian management. So now I don't know how to look at it, whether it's been done on purpose or by design, or it's happening by chance. I don't know, because that's conjecture, so I don't want to comment. I don't know whether they're doing it on purpose, that they're not creating an option, or whether it's just by chance it's happened. But the fact is, Ishan Kishan was that guy who was the opener. He started playing. Now, he, by the way, didn't have a great start when you started giving him chances. And I think he was out of the radar, and many of us thought that he will not make the cut. Then he started getting runs. You can question his play against spin bowling or fast bowling or whatever, but the fact is, he was starting to get runs. He's coming into form, Ishan Kishan.
Fair enough.
So suddenly when he's starting to get form and he's getting, suddenly you say, no Ishan Kishan, you will not be in the 11, you sit out.
Exactly.
We will make Deepak Hooda open.
Why was he travelling
Surya
with
Kumar,
the team if he was not in consideration for a place in the team, in the squad for the T20 World Cup?
Yes.
I thought that you were keeping him as a backup option for KL Rahul, and in case tomorrow if KL Rahul again, God forbid, if he gets injured again, I hope it doesn't happen, then what? Then you are saying that we'll try with, because we've also prepared somebody like Rishabh Pant, Surya Kumar Yadav, Deepak Hooda. Your question was though that the ODI squad that was announced day before yesterday, in which a lot of players who were part of the T20 squad earlier this year or in the past few weeks or months, is it the end of the road for them? So I'm saying, what were they doing then? I thought that they were auditioning for the T20 World Cup, the likes of Deepak Hooda, Ishan Kishan, Akshar Patel. Okay, Akshar Patel was always a backup option, Kuldeep Yadav, because now you suddenly have 7 spinners. You have a pool of 7 spinners. You already had Yuzi Chahal and Ravindra Jadeja. You had Akshar Patel. You had Kuldeep Yadav. You had Ravi Bishnoi. You had you got Ashwin also. Now you have Washington Sundar also. So you have a pool of 7 spinners.
5 are on tour right now, and 2 are Yuzi Chahal and Washington Sundar.
And, Ravi Bishnoi.
5 are here on tour in West Indies. 2 that will be added, Washington Sundar as well as Yuzi Chahal, who is not playing. So you're right, 7 spinners. I thought you're going to be zeroing, but now my point is that the first indication does tell you that maybe it's the end of the road for Deepak Hooda or Kuldeep Yadav or whatever. But I have a feeling that some of these players who are going to Zimbabwe will be part of the Asia Cup team.
I agree.
Some
At least
of those.
Deepak Hooda will be.
Even I think. Because
Hooda
if Deepak Hooda is not, then that will be a travesty of justice.
Exactly.
That will be very unfair.
Exactly.
Because for Deepak Hooda, there could have been 2 options. Either you didn't give him chances, then I would have said, fair, you've not given him chances. And the only question we could have asked is, why didn't you give him chances? Now you've given him limited chances. In those limited chances, he's performed. How can he not be in your scheme of things? I cannot understand.
No, I also had a similar point of view yesterday when we discussed this, and I thought that Deepak Hooda, because all this while when he's traveling with the team, he's not getting enough opportunities, very limited opportunities, but wherever he's got those opportunities, he's made them count. Okay, but still he's not getting enough game time. So I thought maybe the management, the selectors must have thought that Deepak, we still want you to play. We want you to have a lot of game time, because unfortunately in this team setup, we are not able to give you enough opportunities. So you go and play in Zimbabwe. irrespective of the kind of opposition you have, doesn't matter. We want you to get enough game time. So I still feel that Deepak Hooda might just have another, might just make it to the squad, or at least he'll be in consideration. And the other player that I think maybe slightly below in the pecking order, but still the selectors and team manager might just consider him, would be Kuldeep Yadav.
Yes.
Because I think I do not have any confirmation, or if you ask me to pick my third spinner, I still would have my options open, because UZCHL and Jadeja are absolutely through.
Yes.
Then you have Akshar Patel, Ravi Bishnoi.
I think Akshar Patel you can eliminate because he's backup for Jadeja, so he's out.
And Ashwin.
Yes.
You can,
because you're looking at an off spinner, you will consider him if you're going for an off spinner. Then Washington Sundar is that. So see,
if I have a question. I give you an option. Pick one: Ashwin or Washington Sundar.
Good call. If you had asked me this before the first T20, I would have probably picked Washington Sundar. But now I'm not 100% sure, because I did see a change in Ashwin, the bowler. He was bowling that conventional off spin, flighting the ball, got both his wickets for flighting the ball. So I'd be interested. Also, the other fact is that Washington himself has been injured. I don't know how well he's doing right now.
No, but we've seen what he's done lately
in county cricket. No, but again, I want to see him in Zimbabwe.
So the chairman of the selection committee, England, that we know that he's been traveling with the team at least for the entire duration of that England tour. He was in England. Harvinder Singh, the other selector, second of the 4 selectors that we have presently. So he is in West Indies.
Yeah.
So Chetan Sharma in fact went to see Washington Sundar play in county, and possibly, you know, it could have been his call. That I have seen Washington Sundar, he's bowling very well and he's absolutely fine, fit, everything. Let's give him a couple of games and then decide.
Fair point. No, I'm not. I have no issues with him being selected. I'm saying between Ashwin and Sundar,
if both are fit, absolutely fit.
No, I want to see both of them now, because again, Ashwin, I've just seen him in that one game. Washington Sundar, I've not seen him play. So let that Zimbabwe tour be there. After that, only we'll make up my mind. Not so early. There's a close fight, but between all of this, there will be a Ravi Bishnoi who's bowling well. Whatever limited chances he gets, he bowls well. And even though everyone else were looking as a backup, like I'm saying, Jadeja is ahead of Akshar. So one, but leg spinner they could still take 2, because in T20 cricket we've seen sometimes teams play 2 leg spinners also.
And especially when you're playing in Australia, I can't say a lot about how successful Ravi Bishnoi would be on those wickets in Australia, but somebody like UZCHL who flights the ball, because in Australia you tend to get the leg spinners especially, they tend to get that bounce also. And where all are you playing? You're playing in Melbourne, okay, you have drop-in pitches there, you're playing in Sydney, you're playing in Adelaide. So these are wickets where spinners usually they do well, and also they get bounce, the leg spinners. So I think there might be an inclination to have Ravi Bishnoi. The only problem with him is that he is somebody who doesn't get enough bounce, because his go-to delivery is that wrong one.
The only thing that I feel that goes against Ravi Bishnoi and Kuldeep Yadav is that
Kuldeep also would be somebody who will get good bounce.
No, they're wicket takers, both of them. The problem is, and I have a feeling that the Indian team looks at the spinner also being slightly a batting option. I'll tell you why. Because one of your spinner is a UZCHL, who's not really an out-and-out batsman.
Right.
So when you are looking at an option, you're only looking as a backup option for UZCHL, because one of your other spinner will be an all-rounder, whether it's a Washington or whether it's a Jadeja. I'm saying Jadeja, of course, is ahead. Will you consider Ashwin as an all-rounder? Could be, maybe.
He's better. He's a better bat than.
They'll have to take a call. I think there is plenty to look at there. But again, I'm going back to the point that I think that people who've gone to Zimbabwe shouldn't think that their chances of Asia Cup or T20 World Cup are finished. Some of them will go. We've got too many super chats, so let's take them one by one.
I just one point that Ashwin has come into this picture very late. The only reason I see is They think that if UZCL and Jadeja, they are your first choice spinners, because they both will turn the ball away from the right-hander.
Yeah.
Maybe they are looking at somebody, because you might just get an opposition where there are too many left-handers. So you would want, so maybe they're thinking that we must have an off spinner, and if
or a Kuldeep Yadav.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm saying they have a lot of options.
So either it has to be Kuldeep Yadav, Ashwin, or Washington Sundar for me.
Yeah, possible. Okay, let's take the questions. You can save it, and then let's take a lot of questions that have come. Devendra Singh says hello to both of you. He wants you to pick your fantasy team for the second match, and is the match possible today? Devendra, to answer your second question first, match of course is possible. Match starts at 10 o'clock. It's been delayed because the luggage hasn't arrived of the Indian team.
But they're confident that it will arrive.
Yeah, they must have sent a charter to get the luggage. That's why they.
That also BCCI must have sent.
Maybe. So his dream, the fantasy team that he wanted us to pick. Fantasy team, I think, who would you go for? From West Indies, if you'll have to pick about 4. Nicholas Pooran
will be there, because
Jason
if West Indies
Holder
has to lose, then
I'll pick Jason Holder from West Indies. Nicholas Pooran I've picked. Who else do you pick from Alzari?
Fast bowler, you can.
Yeah.
One of their fast bowlers.
Akil Hussain.
Akil Hussain.
Akil Hussain I'm going, and Alzari. 4 I'm picking there. And let's take the Indian players. Who are you going to? Rohit Sharma. He got runs last time. I'll go with Sky this time to be successful.
He didn't get
top order batsman mostly, because sometimes the lower order batsmen don't get that chance. So Sky, Rohit Sharma, DK, man in form, if he gets his chance to bat, that is.
If he gets.
Bhuvaneshwar Kumar for sure. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar for sure. Who else?
Ashwin? Bishnoi?
I don't know. I'm a bit doubtful.
No, this West Indian team has a lot of left-handers. So somebody like Ashwin and Bishnoi could be, because Bishnoi for a left-hander also he's a tricky bowler, and Ashwin, I think both of them got a couple of wickets each.
Yeah, Arshdeep I'm going to pick 10.
Arshdeep.
And you could pick one spinner that Rahul has said. So that's roughly our 11. Sobam Sai says, has KL reached the level of Rohit Virat Shikhar that he can skip Zimbabwe matches? Because I don't remember any match he won for India other than IPL team. See, perception wise, I think he's reached that level.
He has.
No, I'm not saying he's Rohit and Virat. I'm just saying that he has reached the level where he's now been considered, as a captain. And he's a must, like when you look at teams, see, he's one of the first names you'll write in Test, One Day and ODI team right now. Just the impression. I'm not saying he's level of Rohit and Virat. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he's reached that level where if he was to, after this injury also, be part of the Asia Cup, I don't think many will be up in arms.
Is that because you don't have too much of players who are sure of their place in that team?
Could be. But he's reached that level also, na? In the sense that...
No, if KL Rahul has reached that level, then what about Rishabh Pant?
Rishabh has in Test cricket for sure.
I don't agree.
I don't think anyone can question Rishabh being part of the...
I don't agree with him in one point that he hasn't won India matches. KL Rahul has won India a few matches. In fact, a lot of matches. You
want to tell us which ones you would...
No, he has. He has won India a few matches. But... he has not reached that level, and unfortunately, because see, the players now...
I agree, not that level, but I'm saying he's reached the level where he's almost assured of a place in the team.
Because you don't have an opener.
Yes.
Ishan Kishan, you had been developing him, you had been asking
By the way, you have so many openers, by the way.
You have...
Ruturaj Gaikwad, Ishan Kishan, Shubman Gill. So there are openers,
also
but because they've just been on a musical chair, there is nobody guaranteed. So when KL Rahul comes, that's what I said at the start. When KL Rahul comes, nobody will be surprised he comes. Whether it's been done on purpose or it's happened by chance, I don't know. It's not for me to comment.
No, we know that KL Rahul, of course, he had that talent and potential. That is the reason why he was given so
Yes.
many opportunities during the last regime. When I say last regime, Virat Kohli was the captain, Ravi Shastri was the coach, and these selectors also, and the previous selection committee also. So KL Rahul got many opportunities there, and he to an extent has justified their selection also. But you would also remember that so many opportunities, and then poor form, he was dropped out of the team. He was dropped from the team, and then he again made a comeback. So lack of options also helps KL Rahul in that. In that
absolutely.
musical chair.
Agree. Raj from the US of A sent asks us, reason why India is changing the batting order so much, I feel, is because none of the players like Ishan have really done extra well. Well, I disagree with Raj. I think Deepak Hooda has done enough. Why is he not in the team?
No, but opening.
Yeah, but opening also, Ishan Kishan had started doing well, but you're not giving him the chance to open now.
Exactly. Are you expecting a player that you give him his international cap and you ask him, but we want 100 from you?
No, I think in the limited opportunity, as I said, he didn't start off well, Ishan Kishan, but after that he is.
Yes.
So players are doing well. The experiment is not because players are not doing well. I think the experiment is unnecessary. You have openers, you can start with them. And if you had to do an experiment, do one, okay, fine, let's say you did an experiment with Pant, that also you discontinued after 2 games. And now this one, so. And then, so make up your mind. Either just go with pure openers. You had Ruturaj Gaikwad also now with you. Then try him. If you're not happy with Ishan Kishan, assuming that you don't see the potential, go with someone else.
But you're doing it
too often.
Too often and too close to
and irrationally, randomly. No logic.
And we used to speak a lot about this, that there was a time when players were insecure in the team.
Yes.
Whether I'm going to play the next game or not. With this team management, when they came, Rohit Sharma, Rahul Dravid, when they came, they said, the first thing that we want to ensure in this dressing room is that the player feels secured of his place, of whatever it is. But now, with whatever is happening, Deepak Hooda tomorrow, if he misses out, I know there are a lot of unfortunate cases, especially in these ICC tournaments. We've seen that in the past. 2003, VVS Laxman missed out. 2011, Yuvraj Singh, by the way, was almost on the verge of missing out. But it could be Deepak Hooda. But he would say, somebody is there. Does he actually deserve at the expense of Deepak Hooda? So these are questions. Could have avoided this situation.
Rahul Java says, why do we make so many changes to our opening positions when we know that Rohit and Rahul and Virat and Ishan will open? Middle order wins you big matches, as we have seen with UV Rena Dhoni. Scrap Iyer and play Hooda. Last part of your question, Rahul, I think is also unfair to Shreyas Iyer. I'm not saying scrap him. I think he's in contention and so is Hooda, but give them chances is what I'm saying. And yes, you're right, middle order wins you chances. Why do we make opening position? We've already answered that. Even I'm as baffled as you are about why so many.
The only problem is Rohit and Rahul are your openers. I hope they are your openers. But Virat, I don't think that will open or will get to open.
Maybe.
Ishan, I don't know.
Maybe.
Will you go back to an experiment that actually failed?
No, I will not. I'm saying in a scenario, let's say KL Rahul is injured, then what do you do?
No, then why was Ishan Kishan opening? Oh, sorry, Rishabh Pant opening the innings.
No, I'm saying you can do one out of the box experiment. I agree with that. But then continue with it, na? Every match something else.
For me, if Virat
Hooda
has to
opens,
play,
Pant
he should open.
Sky
Virat
opens.
plays in that 11. I think the best position for him to play is to open.
Next one. Rahul Vasudev from Australia joins us, says KL and Virat will be weaknesses of our 11 undoubtedly. Problem is if they want to keep Rishabh ahead of Sky and DK, then it will be 3 liabilities in our 11. Thoughts? I think a bit unfair to say that KL and Virat will be your weaknesses. Who knows what form they are?
Yes.
And I think I would want you to be patient, wait for the Asia Cup, see your best team play, and maybe if everyone is firing, you may not have this. But he feels that if you're going to keep Rishabh also, then there'll be 3 liabilities. Though I must say that Rishabh has left a lot to be desired in T20 especially. He needs to pull up his socks.
And for Virat, if he does well, for Pakistan, Babar has been playing a similar role. He doesn't score with a strike rate of somewhere around 170, 180.
Yeah.
He also has a pretty decent strike rate of 130, 38. And then there are players like Mohammad Rizwan and others who play around Babar Azam, and they have a pretty good success rate, Pakistan. Kiruba Karan Ramachandran.
From the UK, he says Rohit believes on matchups against left-handers. That's why he selects. He will play against where the top orders of the opposition has more left-handers. I think he's talking about an off-spinner, which is true. I agree that Rohit does, and the signs are there in the IPL. So they may, which is why we thought that third option of a spinner could be a Washington, Ashwin, or a Kuldeep Yadav.
Yes, quite possible.
Anyone is possible. Though can I tell you, UZ is not bad against left-handers also.
Yeah.
So there's not much to worry.
And you would remember, in fact, K. Ramachandran, you would remember a couple of years ago, the IPL season, Jayant Yadav didn't play a lot of matches, but they were playing against Delhi Capitals that final.
Jayant Yadav only played against
the
Delhi.
Final.
All matches against Delhi he played.
And they didn't play Rahul Chahar. And that season, Rahul Chahar was doing pretty well for them. Yeah. They dropped Rahul Chahar and they got Jayant Yadav in the final.
Yeah. No, Jayant Yadav has become Delhi expert. So... Shobham Sai says few days back you were saying Rishabh Pant needed to open to get the best out of him. If Surya is given opportunity, what's wrong with that? The point is that Surya will never open. Surya, see, the thing with Rishabh Pant, why you were saying is opener, because his middle order numbers weren't great. But Surya is your best middle order batsman. He just hammered 100. And he has the game to play in the middle order. And
Nikhil, who's your best batsman in this team? Because KL Rahul, we don't know. For so long we were saying that KL Rahul is perhaps the best T20 batsman that we have.
You're saying right now the best batsman is Virat Kohli in T20.
No, I'm saying in T20.
In present, T20, current form. Yeah, current form.
If I ask you pick one player, who would you want to have in your team?
Currently, now looking at the current form. No, overall the best batsman is Virat. His numbers are crazy.
Today you have to pick one team. You have a match against, say, Pakistan, Australia, England. It is your team. You are the captain. You want one player in this, from this. Batsman I'm saying. Don't say Hardik Pandya here. Because Hardik Pandya is Hardik Pandya. Because
you're saying a pure batsman. One spot is left. You are saying I'm playing a match against, my team is playing a match against arch rivals.
Yeah.
In Noida versus Gurgaon.
Yeah.
I'm making the Noida team. No. And I have been given the chance that pick any Indian player.
Right.
Anyone from India to join your team, and has to be a pure batsman.
Yeah.
And only one. Current form. I'm taking, it's a tough choice between, I'll take Surya Kumar Yadav.
Surya Kumar Yadav. So, if you want Surya to open, the problem is.
But I will not open.
But you
I will not open.
That's why I'm saying.
My team.
You also have to see the balance of the team.
Yes.
So you are saying that Rishabh Pant has left a lot to be desired.
Yes.
And then you.
Because I'll tell you why. He is fighting a head-on battle with Dinesh Karthik. Two of them in one team is going to be.
Then Shreyas Iyer or Deepak Hooda. We don't know. Hooda, whether he will be available
right now, but they've given us a message straight up right now that Shreyas is ahead of Hooda.
Shreyas,
you and me may not agree, but that's what the team is.
So your middle order, Virat Kohli, we are not too sure about his form. So you need, if you have the best batsman in your team is Surya Kumar Yadav and he is a middle order batsman, then place him there. Because suddenly, if you open with Surya Kumar Yadav, the entire middle order looks naked. As in,
and why I will not open with him is because with Rishabh Pant, why I said that maybe that power play he can utilize, and because he's not working, that experiment is not working here, it may work there. But with Surya Kumar, he has all the shots. He's Mr. 360 degree.
Yeah.
He can, even when the field is spread, can bat at 170 strike rate. He's shown us that he can. Then what is the problem with Surya Kumar? So I will not fidget with Surya Kumar. He is either my number 3 or 4. That's what he is for me. Because 5 is...
No, 3 is Virat, no?
No, I'm saying right now, when I'm playing now, because he's opening right now.
Will he open today also?
I won't be surprised if they do, but if they do, I'm not going to be happy. With this team, it's quite possible, by the way, that they still play the same team as the last match. Quite
it has
possible.
to happen.
Yeah,
it should happen.
Quite possible. The same team will play, and in which case, Surya Kumar is going to open, which makes no sense. He's not going to learn anything from there, which he will need to implement later. I would not even mind any other. Again, if you again try with Rishabh Pant as an opener, I still wouldn't mind that, because you're working towards something. Surya Kumar, you're trying to fix something that's not broken. He's your best middle order batsman.
Shakeen is saying, why is everybody, why isn't Huda overrated? Basically, he's saying Huda is overrated. He's saying he's got runs against Ireland and England.
Yeah, but those are the only opportunities he's been given. So
And
what do you do?
Exactly, and the other opportunities that he got, he did fairly well there also.
Yeah, I mean, so what can you do? You can only judge him on the basis of what you're seeing. And by the way, just to remind you, since we look at form even during the IPL, and not us selectors pick teams based on the IPL, you go back to the last World Cup, that's what happened. He was outstanding in the IPL. He batted at all positions from number 3 to 6 for Lucknow and was splendid there. So
your friend Mustafa Ismail from Canada,
he often joins us.
Yeah.
Hope you guys are well.
Good.
We are, and I hope, Mustafa, you're well too. The match is in your time zone, so you will not have to be up very late at night, so you can enjoy it. For us, it will be a very late night. Your thoughts on the 3 fast bowlers for the World Cup? Shami, Bhuvi and Bumrah for me. But if you go to Harshal or Thakur, then you get a bit of batting. Also, Asia Cup, could you go with 2 seamers plus Hardik? So, to answer the last question first, it is possible. You're playing in UAE. You can play. They can play this kind of a team with 3 spinners, Hardik and 2 other fast bowlers. You can play this in the UAE. Not a bad option. You can. I think you can, depending on how the pitches are, we don't know. But most likely they'll play 3 fast bowlers. So who are your 3 fast bowlers? I agree with Mustafa. My top 3 white ball fast bowlers are Shami, Bhuvi and Bumrah. No doubt. But the indications we are getting is that Shami has not been in the scheme of things for T20 cricket. For whatever reason, God only knows. Then that would be...
Then who's your third seamer?
In Harshal? The team, then I'll go with Harshal in the team, because he's offering something else. But instead of Harshal, we play Arshdeep also, I wouldn't mind. So again, too early to judge Arshdeep. He's just starting. I don't want to get too excited.
But for World Cup, you will need 5 seamers, right? You will take 5 seamers.
No, he's talking about playing. Yeah, 5, yes.
No, I think I might just want to see an Arshdeep also in that squad at least.
No, Arshdeep 100%.
And irrespective of whether Arshdeep makes it to that squad, that 15-member squad or not, I think he will go to Australia for the T20 World Cup. Because how long are you going to have Navdeep Saini bowl you in the nets?
No, by the way, there will be a few net bowlers,
because you will need a left arm seamer in the nets also, and because the first match, as Siddharth, he's been visualizing Shaheen Shah Afridi against Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul in that first game on 23rd of October.
You will. You can take Mohsin Khan also to bowl in the nets. For the nets, if you need a left armer.
Arshdeep, I think, will go.
Yeah, even I think.
Whether he makes it to that.
Harshal will also go. Arshdeep will also go. I don't think there will be any doubt. They will be part of the squad for sure.
And especially with how the Indian pacers have become so injury prone. I think it is always good to take.
Yeah. Lucky Patel is saying, he has a question for you. He's saying KL Rahul plays India versus country 11 match, then he will come in Asia Cup.
Okay, so he's talking about that
August 15 game.
The Independence Day game that is being planned. I think
Yes.
that is going to happen somewhere around 20th of August, if I'm not wrong. Somewhere around a day here and there. But whether it is happening or not, we are not sure. Although,
But that's been more like an exhibition game.
although there is some planning because.
And doesn't matter if he does well or not. On that basis, will you select KL or drop? No, na. He's going to go to the Asia Cup. Doesn't matter what he does in that game, even if he plays.
Is that going to be an international ICC recognized match?
Could be. Some games are like, if you remember those
No,
ICC
to
World
happen.
11, they were recognized.
Used to happen
Yes.
earlier, but now those
I don't
kind of
know.
matches don't happen.
BCCI can decide what they want.
But
They
apparently,
can tell the ICC.
Apparently, I think the ministry has approached a few people, including Rahul Dravid, because people
For?
in the I don't know if he is being approached. I'm assuming.
For approach for what?
I don't know for what, but I'm assuming that quite possible it could be.
He's the coach of the team.
I'm talking about the sports minister. What has sports ministry to do with Rahul Dravid? Unless they want him to be present for a function or something.
Yeah, could be. Go down to the bottom, please.
Anjana Srivastava is saying Mohammed Shami's economy of 10. How is he fit?
No.
How
But
does he-
see, you are seeing Mohammed Shami's economy in T20 eyes at a time where I think it's been about a year or two, he's not played T20. I'm going to look at his IPL performance. He was in your top wicket takers this IPL.
Strike rate.
He held the record for most wickets in power play or whatever. He has an economy of I think 8 around in the IPL, which most other bowlers do. If a guy is giving me 3 wickets a match with an economy of 8, I'll take it any day. Any day.
But the only problem with I think that goes against Mohammed Shami could be, although his experience, you have to make sure that you utilize that kind of experience somehow or the other. I think what goes against him is the death pooling.
Yeah, but I'm saying you need different players for.
And he's still very young, 31.
Yeah, and plus you don't need everyone to bowl in the death. He may have been done with his 4 overs before the death overs come. I would bowl him 3 up top, 1 over somewhere in the middle, done. For death, I have Bhuvneshwar Kumar or Jasprit Bumrah or Harshal Patel or whatever, whoever plays. Okay, answer Darshan Negi's question. Do you think the current Indian T20 team is the strongest compared to all the past T20 teams of India?
Bowling looks better than majority of the teams that we've seen in the past, but no. For me, the answer is no. I don't know.
Yeah, I think no. The
You don't think-
Indian team when Virat Kohli was in top form, that T20 team was very good.
And Darshan, to be very honest, I don't know what is the Indian team currently. I don't know what is the current team.
Good point. Good point. Mayank Pokhriyal has a very interesting question. He's saying why Prithvi is not included in the Indian team.
On the basis of what?
Yeah. Has he set the IPL on fire? He plays IPL, he gets you some very attractive 30s, 40. He needs to be, I gave an example, you be one of the top 3 highest run getters, top 4 highest run getters. Your strike rate with Prithvi is never a problem, but be the guy, like David Warner used to have an IPL.
Yes.
Like strike rate, runs, nobody can question you. If you have that kind of an IPL, do it. Like Venkatesh Iyer had half an IPL like that. He came in, Ruturaj Gaikwad had an IPL like that. He came in, have an IPL like that, prove it.
And Prithvi,
Plus, no, you were.
Prithvi Shaw did get runs during that Vijay Hazare Trophy
Yes.
that Mumbai won. He scored over 900 runs, but in that very series, that very tournament, even Devdutt Padikkal got runs over, I think 840, 60 runs he got in that tournament. Devdutt Padikkal also didn't make it to the Indian team. Of course, he went to that tour of Sri Lanka when the main squad was in England. So Prithvi Shaw, he has immense potential that we already know, but he has also fallen down that pecking order. He should have been playing for India in every format by now. The way he made his debut in Test, then he was given an opportunity. It was just a matter of time. But then those disciplinary issues, injuries, a lot of things have happened, and this There are a lot of backstage stories to it, but the kind of potential, if he doesn't play for India, it will be only and only his fault for me.
Yeah. All I want to say is Prithvi should ask a question to himself. He should ask whether he's satisfied with what he's got. I sometimes get a feeling he's happy with what is coming his way. He's happy playing the IPL, a game or two here and there whenever he gets.
That's the impression that he is giving.
Yes. Does he have ambitions to play 50 test matches for India, or 100 white ball games for India? He should have that. That's the talent he has. Yes. But I don't see that hunger. So maybe you should sit and think about it, because time passes you by very quickly. You keep thinking you're a youngster, my time will come. Time passes you by.
Yes.
Before you know, there are a few more youngsters that have come. Final question we'll take from Jay Kapadia.
What is he saying?
He's saying Sky is opening to get ready for situations like if 2 wickets are lost in the power play. So VK plus Rohit for opening, Arshdeep should be in the World Cup. Firstly, I don't agree with that. Sky can't be that guy who just, is being prepared that 2 quick wickets fall, so he's opening. No, that cannot be the way. Don't mess with where Sky bats. He's perfect there. Don't mess with his position. Let him play more and more innings there. And you don't prepare someone for 2 wickets being, falling very early by sending him as an opener. That's no way. It'll happen in a game situation. Yeah. He'll get used to it. But Arshdeep I think both of us agreed, right?
Yes.
Arshdeep should be.
Day one.
Angad Kapoor's question.
Angad Kapoor is saying KL Rahul coming straight into the team. What message are you sending to the likes of Ishan? Okay, Ishan Kishan. Can you think of any match where KL Rahul has set the stage on fire on a big day? On a big day. Do you remember?
I say I won't. Memory is very bad about matches.
No, but big days we know. Big days we've played World Cups. We've played a few important tours. See, in test matches he has won you a few games, especially overseas. In England at least he did really well to win that test match. I think that was the Lord's test or the third test match. Anyways, so he's done well. But this is the question, Angad, we asked right at the start also. In fact, yesterday also we asked this very question, that is it fair on others if KL Rahul just walks into the team? Because for a fast bowler, earlier it used to happen that if a fast bowler is injured, he will have to give a fitness test, which I'm sure will happen in KL Rahul's case also. But then also he would be match fitness will also be tested. But unfortunately, I don't know KL Rahul's, how will you judge KL Rahul's match fitness? Somebody who hasn't played competitive cricket for 3 months. Whatever he played was the IPL, last week of IPL, that's all he played. So obviously the likes of Ishan Kishan, Deepak Hooda might just feel a little hard done. But
Ambu Shukla says no security for players. If Arshdeep, Ashwin plays same 11 and at Australia, Chahal will miss. You won't believe now, but it is positive. Bashing Ireland shouldn't get. We bashed minnows at World Cup 21.
Scotland and Namibia, I think.
Yes, he did. So he's saying Chahal will miss. I don't think so.
I don't think they're going to repeat the same mistake.
Yeah, that mistake won't happen. No chance that Chahal will not go. But you're right in a way that you're not giving security to players by making so many changes. I just hope that, and I hope that a lot of it what we're discussing proves to be wrong, and by the time they reach Asia Cup, it's okay, because there is enough cricket after that also. From Asia Cup onwards, if they start playing their regular team, I wouldn't have any problems. But I would want to see that.
But we'd been talking about this, that England tour, you will have your team ready and you will play your full-fledged
squad.
I think. Then we said West Indies.
No, West Indies, you knew.
No, but I don't know, but we can get those videos out. I think we've said this in the past, but I have maintained this right from the start. Your 15-member squad will be decided only and only on, I think, maybe just a few days or a week before the T20 World Cup, or whenever the team is announced.
No, team will be, but I think from Asia Cup, I would want you to see or play your best 11. And that doesn't mean that is the 11 or the 15 that will go, because if some people don't perform, you will make a
16,
change.
17 players.
Yeah, but those 16, 17 should be the guys.
Because Asia Cup also, if you're playing each team twice, because that's going to be a very lengthy tournament, because every player, if you're playing the same team again and again, there also you have chances that you might, one or two key players might just get injured, and your entire planning and execution goes haywire for the T20 World Cup.
Agreed. On that note, we've gone on for 1 hour. We'll take your leave, because we will be back live at what time? 9:30?
9:30 or
9:30. 9:25 we'll come live, 5 minutes before the toss, then the toss update and everything, and we'll discuss the 11 there. If you had any questions to ask of us, join us. And meanwhile, don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today, because this is the only place where you're getting live results, updates, interviews about Commonwealth Games. So a lot of interesting things keep happening through the day in the Commonwealth Games, which is difficult for you to track, but our team is tracking. So if you subscribe and press the bell icon, you will know as soon as India has won a medal, or if India has had a major loss, we come live, give you that update. And then as soon as the medal comes, the first place you'll get to hear from the champion, the gold medalist, the silver medalist, is Sports Today. So that's reason enough for you to subscribe. So our continuous coverage of Commonwealth continues.
Yes.
And we still have 4 very exciting T20s to watch. See you then. Thank you for joining, and Vadakam.